Welcome to the Garage Network podcast. Join us and the occasional special guest as we discuss everything automotive, from fixing cars as a technician, owning an automotive workshop or business, overall work-life balance, and even the occasional laugh. In this episode of TGN Talks, we talk about buy now, pay later platforms. What are some of the pros and cons, and are we using them in our businesses? We also touch on the stresses of running an automotive business and what we do when we start to feel overwhelmed. So we hope that you guys enjoy it.
G'day, gents. How are we?
Very well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Boys, how are we? So Mike and Jeff. Jeff, you've got the Garage Network as your name, but that is Jeff Taylor, the very, very dashing young man with the glasses.
Where I can only see Jeff.
Yeah,
That's good.
There you go. Well, look, why don't we do a very quick introduction? Well, I think
Costa just disappeared.
we lost Costa.
He lost the man himself.
Oh, that's all right. He'll be back very, very shortly, and then we can do our intros. But we do have a couple of topics on for tonight. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe an announcement. Hopefully, with any luck, Costa jumps back on very, very shortly. But one of the big subjects that we were going to talk about was raised on the network probably a couple of times. Most recently, about a week ago, just about buy now, pay later type platforms. We're not going to sort of mention any names, but you sort of get the gist of what they could be. We're going to sort of talk about those. Do we offer them to our customers? Is it something that we want to sort of take on in our shops? We're going to talk about burnout and making sure that we sort of keep on top of our health and don't get burnt out. And then JT's got a bit of an announcement as well towards the tail end, I'd say. Or maybe now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, there is a bit of a secret. No, I'm going to wait till Costa comes, or if he does.
He may not.
Do you want it now? Do you want it now?
Let's do it now. Let's do it now.
No one's. Is anybody actually hearing us? No one's commented yet. Have we done a sound check?
No, let's do a sound check. So you've got Facebook loaded up there, JT. So if there's anyone
I have, yes.
Oh, this could be Costa quite possibly. Now, if anyone's on at the moment, can we just get a quick sound check? Make sure that you can hear us all well. The visual is good too. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, Peter Arnold. Thank you, Peter.
I'm back. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there.
What did you do?
I do more than one thing. That's what happened.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, we just had a real quick debrief, Costa, on the subjects that we're going to cover tonight. So
Excellent.
basically, buy now, pay later platforms, burnout in the workplace, not just in business, but in the workplace also, because I think it's important to sort of address it from both angles. So you can get burnout from being a business owner. You can also get burnout from being an employee. So it's important that we understand that. And then JT's big announcement towards we're going to do the tail end, but we might as well sort of do it now.
Should we say the big announcement now? Can I say the big announcement?
I thought it was a secret. Is it not a secret?
Yeah, no, it's a secret. We'll leave it to the end. It's a secret.
Okay, but what's the secret? Okay.
No, say it now.
Do it. Should we do it now? So the Garage Network has another sponsor, partner, same thing. And personally, I'm quite excited, and the other boys are. It's a company called TuneUp, and TuneUp are a chemical supplier based in Germany. I'm not going to go on too long, but they're big into sustainability, health, and environmental, keeping workers safe with the chemicals that people use. And the other really interesting thing is they've got so many manufacturers' approvals. So a lot of the time, if you buy, manufactured bottled chemicals, there's a chance it's been made by TuneUp in Germany.
Awesome.
So there we go. But we will touch on a few things moving forwards. The Germans are two of the good guys are on the page, and they might pipe up and give a bit of information. But they're all really nice guys to deal with as well. So personally, I'm quite excited, and I'm sure. I know Peter Leondis is a bit excited.
Oh, mate, I'm excited.
So,
every time you say the Germans, I think of Snatch. The Germans.
The Germans.
The Germans.
No. Look, no. It's they're all good people, and they've definitely got some great chemicals, which me and Costa have been using today on a Transit DPF. But we're not going to talk about this Transit because it has been a bit of a pain in the backside. But the tune-up did get us there in the end. So,
well,
a good result there.
Mate, I think it's good news all round. But why don't we do a real quick intro for those that have just jumped on that don't know us? Why don't we do the rounds and introduce ourselves? I'm happy to take the charge.
How about you take the lead with that, Peter?
I'll take the lead. So my name's Peter.
Leader Pete.
From Robert Street and Sutherland Automotives. I'm not going to say to my left because I don't really know who my left is, but I'll probably say I'm passing to Mike now.
I'm Mike Carnamella from 313 Automotive.
Yep. Go for it.
I'm Costa from Smart Mechanical City. Yep. And we've got down we don't know where you are, so go for the other guy in the black shirt.
My name's Jeff, and today I have been Smart Mechanic Sydney.
There you go.
Actually.
Okay. There you go.
I'll tell you what, I got Jeff dirty today.
Really? Ooh.
Wait a minute. That's not what I meant. Jeff, no, I have no way to say. He was on the tools today.
On the tools. So you're on the tools today, Jeff.
I was on the tools today, yeah.
How was it? Pleasant change?
Yeah, it was good. I've been doing more and more recently, and I kind of miss it.
Okay, well, you can put on a Sutherland Automotive shirt anytime you like.
Well, I tried to once, but you didn't have any big enough. Do you not remember?
We get them extra small so we can show off our guns. So
you didn't have size. You didn't have size FC.
Oh goodness! So no, what did I have? I had a couple of extra larges there. Still not big enough, Jeff. The extra large shirt.
They weren't big. They weren't big enough. Were they?
Look, Jeff's got.
What it is, I've got boxing arms, and it's like we're up to my elbows. So what can I say? Up your game, Peter.
Did you call them boxing arms?
I've got boxing arms because I can punch you through. I've got good reach.
I think we call them something, or whatever.
Yeah, boxing.
I tell you what I'll do is I think Rafish from Cremorne Auto. He's a bit of a boxer, so I'll give him a few jabs and I'll get him to give you some feedback.
All right, there you go.
Actually, just speaking of that, Johnny Brown might be on here from with tune-up. Some of that you've got that great chemical that Peugeot used to clean the back of their valves. I was just thinking that that's on the OE equipment for valve cleaning. I'm going on a segue. I'm just going completely.
So that kit's approved for several manufacturers. I can't really mention names of manufacturers. I don't want to get taken to court. But it's approved for many different manufacturers.
From
not
the
just Peugeot, Citroën.
From the France region.
And the Japanese one.
Oh, okay.
And the Japanese one.
There
I can't say anymore.
It rhymes with Royota.
Yeah. Peter Bannon knows a lot about the brand.
Look, why don't we move on?
That's right. We had topics.
We had topics. Look, I think one of the big topics that was discussed was buy now pay later platforms.
Yeah.
So essentially offering to the customer these platforms, or maybe not offering the customer these platforms in particular, but I wanted to sort of hear your thoughts on it. Do any of you have these facilities at your shops? Do you offer these facilities to customers? And if not, maybe why not? Or if you don't, why don't you?
Look, I'm happy to take the start on this since no one else is yelling out. So I actually don't offer this service at this current point, mostly because we've always been happy enough. Most people have a credit card, and they're normally that's the way we sort of always deal with it. But to be fair, I reckon our sales have moved to credit card. I reckon in the high 90 percentile mark is credit sales now. Would I offer it? Absolutely. Probably the only reason I haven't offered it yet is probably because I haven't had anyone really ask. I haven't had many people ask for it as yet. I can definitely imagine it being more and more popular as it gets more sort of out there and more known. Do I have any concerns about offering it? Not really. I mean, repairs nowadays on a modern vehicle, you can very easily spend a couple of $1,000s.
Oh, and then some, depending on what you're going to get repaired.
And I think expecting people to have that on hand is a bit, it's not realistic as well.
Yeah, of course.
Months come, days come where that credit card is maxed for some people, and the paid, getting paid monthly or whatever, however it works, they might need another option. Especially if they get hit up out of the blue with a 10 grand engine repair or anything like that. There's these repairs can very easily blow out quite quickly. So I definitely see the market for it. Would I use it? Look, if I start getting requests, I have the 10 rule. If I get asked 10 times for it, then absolutely, I'll definitely start offering it. But yeah. That's from my stance, isn't it?
Okay.
I don't see an issue with it.
One of the comments was that you might be attracting sort of clients that you might not want through your door if you're offering those buy now, pay later type platforms. Now, I sort of want to hear your thoughts on it. All three of you really want to hear your thoughts on it. But my thoughts basically are, look, sometimes it's not right of us to judge someone's circumstance. We personally don't have those platforms at our shops. We've not had really a calling for them. If there is a little bit of a calling for them, look, maybe it's something that we could consider offering. Do I think that it's going to attract, clientele that's not really aligned with what our values are? Look, I don't think it is, because I mean, if someone's going to come into our shop, they're going to sort of know what we're about anyway from our presentation and our the way we sort of showcase ourselves. But I think you're very right that there'd be certain circumstances where people might not have the money for the repair, and they might need to use these platforms. So
I don't think it's fair for any of us to stereotype a Visa card, MasterCard, or an American Express or Diners Club card.
I don't see much difference between that and a credit card.
There's no difference. The difference actually comes down to the fees that you pay by the end of it, because a lot of those pay later schemes and plans have quite considerable fees. Watch this space, because there is we'll have some presentations on some stuff that moving forward. I have been involved in one. You just need to be upfront. Your customers need to notify you upfront so that you can actually add their fees. The buy now, pay later schemes and those platforms and plans add roughly 5 to 10% to your bill, right? And you pay that. So you cop that. By offering that, you lose a percentage. So I'm happy to offer it to customers, but it needs to be, they need to pay for it. We can't be paying for it. I'm happy
do you have those platforms, Mike?
We have had, but there was no call for it at the time. It was very early days. And it was through one of our partners. It was through VACC. They offered it, a buy now, pay later scheme. They still do, and that's what we'll talk about. We'll get them on board to have a chat to them. They do one specifically for the automotive industry, and that's available to all of us and all of our members. If you wanted to have a talk about that, PM me. I'll get you in contact with someone.
Do you remember what that's called, Mike? Or is that something that we were?
Leave that. We'll just keep it. I need to speak to VACC again. But the Open Pay is what it was called. I'm going to say it's Open Pay. It was Open Pay, and it was specifically designed for the automotive industry. if you're a business that seems to be carrying a lot of people's debt, my advice to you is to go to OpenPay. You shouldn't be carrying the debt. You get paid straight away. You don't need to be chased. The one thing, any small business or new business owner, if you find when you're starting out, you're getting a lot of customers that want to be on a payment plan and pay you off over 6 months or 12 months, you would be far better off to have a buy now, pay later plan for them and let someone else deal with that than you need to be dealing with someone who you go, mate, you owe me $3,000. You pay me $500. What's going on? You don't need to be chasing that. My advice to any business owner, if you're carrying accounts and that sort of debt, we don't carry any. It's basically your car gets fixed, you pick up your car, you pay your bill. You pay your bill, pick up your car, I should say, get in the right order. But you pay on pickup, and we don't release your car until you do. And if circumstances arise, that financial circumstances, generally I've seen this in the past when we've had recessions, downturns, where people are like, I really need my car fixed. I need to get back on the road. There may well come a time where we need to call for those nimble style loans, those access to those sorts of credit funding where you can basically outsource that part of the business, because I do not ever want to be carrying, and I have done it in the past many years ago, carried debt and had to chase people for money.
So my dad had this saying, when someone would ask him for credit, he'd say, look, I've got an arrangement with the bank. They don't fix cars and I don't lend money. So
I like it.
That was his saying. Yeah.
So in that circumstance, yes, that is a great. I mean, look, buy now, pay later is not for people that can't afford to do stuff. They break the payments up over 4 weeks or 5 weeks. It doesn't. Yeah. It's actually, to be honest, it's not a they're not like you're racking up credit on your credit card and never paying. I mean, people can do far worse financially by racking up massive amounts of debt on a Visa card or a MasterCard. It's the buy now, pay later scheme is a lot like American Express. It's like a charge card. Now you have to pay it off within 4 weeks. You can't not pay it off. Like your credit card, you can keep delaying it and then go apply for another one and transfer it at 0% to another card and transfer it at 0% to somebody else. I mean, we're not in anyone that's saying you're attracting the wrong sort of customer has, it's like saying accepting American Express is attracting the wrong sort of person to your business.
Yeah, I think it's wrong to sort of categorize people like that as well. I mean, there's probably a lot of people that might be able to pay for it up front, but want the access of having a cash flow, and paying it off over a certain amount of time.
They structure things like that. That's what people do. People are entitled.
I can understand it if you're dealing with big bills and things, but it's, where's the line going to be drawn? And people going to be using it for oil services and things like that. I think it needs to be it needs to be worth doing.
The thing that I've found, the biggest problem is you need to know, you don't want to get sprung with that at the end of a job, really. That's like, I'm happy I absorb all of our credit card fees and American Express charge fees and all of those things. I negotiate hard with my merchant services. I negotiate very hard with American Express to reduce that so I don't on-charge any fees or charges to customers. But when it came to things like OpenPay, or I know Commonwealth Bank have got one at the moment, which I'll probably discuss with them at some point because we have a Commonwealth Bank merchant agreement. They're having their own version of buy now, pay later. But the problem with these things is they make their money by clipping the ticket. They clip my bill, right? And they clip that as a percentage base, and it's a much higher percentage base than than your merchant fee, or your merchant fee, terminal fee, and all those sorts of things. There's a very big percentage there, and our margins are so tight. We're not. Your margins are tight, so you need to be able to cover that. That needs to be covered. I'm happy to offer it, but I'll be honest. It's going to be offered at a premium. It's not It's going to be offered at cost plus.
Yeah.
Job plus the fee, you get that. And unfortunately, and I'll be upfront with that. It's a more expensive way of doing something. Now, even if you go to buy a pair of shoes and use Afterpay, I can almost guarantee that if you select Afterpay, they're going to be more expensive than if you walked in and paid with your Visa card or MasterCard.
But I think the gist of it being is that I think it's as repairs on modern cars start getting more and more expensive, and they do, it might be something that might be worthwhile to investigate as a workshop owner. In the off chance that, look, you could get a bill for a gearbox rebuild on a Euro car at $7,000 plus. And someone might say, okay, well, look, I've got the money to pay for it, but if I pay for it now, then
there goes Christmas.
There goes Christmas. I've reduced my cash flow. So maybe what I'll do is I might take this out over a period of time. If you offer it, would you get the job over not getting the job? Look, possibly. So it might be worthwhile sort of considering it moving forward. And
it could be a very clear factor of allowing. That's the difference between the customer affording and not affording the job.
Yeah,
let's go. Any modern diesel. If you blow a modern diesel engine, you're out for 20 grand. 15 to 20 grand pretty quickly if you're going to start talking about what's involved in rebuilding a diesel engine.
Well, even if you had to do a DPF, like
DPF,
that's $5,000.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worthwhile. I'd love to hear from anyone that's sort of watching now, if they comment, if they're using it, have used it, would like to use it.
There is a couple of comments. Perfect. Pete, and one Jeff Smith. Hi, Jeff. My view: everyone has a credit card. That's the option, and I suppose he's right to a degree. Everyone has it. I don't have a credit card, but I don't know. Maybe Amanda doesn't let me have one, but it's probably a good thing. But yeah, I think everyone. Since I've lived in Australia, I rarely have cash. Everything's with my bank card, and I suppose I've got a bit of an overdraft with that. But
no cash,
bit of cash.
No cash, Robbo.
This is going to be market driven, guys. You can't. It's market driven. Yeah. It's customer demand. If the demand is there, we'll have no choice but to take it. It's market driven. It's.
And you could also, the way I see it as well. I agree. I just sort of agree, Jeff, as well. Everyone does have a credit card, and that's how we've been able to get away with not even offering it, right?
Yeah.
But I think you'll find that if that early 20-year-old guy comes in or girl comes in with a 20 grand diesel engine gone, they probably don't have a 20 grand credit card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They might have, 3.
So we've got Travis, our good friend Travis. He looks into Afterpay. And since then, we've been hounding him. They want to take 11%, and he's not allowed to add a surcharge.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
that's a massive cost.
That's high. That would make me rethink it. I'll be honest.
That makes me go, there's no way I'm going to offer that.
Yeah. That would make me rethink even offering it.
You can't. You wouldn't add a surcharge, but what you need to do is if someone wants to pay with Afterpay, you've got to build that into the job.
Well, what about this? What about this option then? What about this option of I didn't hear that either, Costa. But what about the option of? I think I agree with Jeff too in that. Yeah, look, everyone's got it's their responsibility. I think is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, correct.
It's their responsibility to do it. Well, could it be something that maybe you could suggest to the customer? Look, we don't have any sort of payment facilities, but if you contact them directly, you might be able to arrange, finance.
Maybe that offerage, don't get involved in that process.
Don't get involved in the process at all.
I guess that's a bit like saying, is it better to have, and I think this was around years and years ago. You could have you can get small loans approved within 48 hours. I think Nimble's one of them. There's a few other options where the customer can contact someone. You get a copy of the estimate or the quote. You contact someone like that to go, I'm going to get my car fixed. It's $5,000. I need a small, fast loan. There's a whole heap of them been advertised. I can't think. Nimble was one of them. There's a whole heap of them been advertised on television. We see the.
Well, are they not like an ask kick APR for the customer? Is it?
Sorry.
No.
Those like handy loan type things. Do we not just bury people in heaps of debt with?
Well, they can.
High interest rates.
Well, if you don't pay your bills, that's with life, though.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's not really our problem, though, really, is it? At the end of the day, I mean, we didn't break their car. You could take that sort of standpoint on it as well. And look, I do feel for someone if they have to sort of take out a loan that could be 20% interest or whatever the case may be. It's not fair, but yeah, look, it's definitely, and that's why we're discussing it now on here, because it's definitely something that's a topic of discussion. So
look, I think certain companies and certain business models will probably benefit from it. Like I can imagine, and this is just an absolute guess, and I could be totally wrong, but I could imagine, especially guys in like the accessory fitting world, where the demographic potentially is a bit younger. Potentially, those fit outs can very quickly go from initial 3-4 grand bull bar to a 20 grand fit out in a blink of an eye, because people get excited while they're there. I mean, it could definitely work in that situation, I think.
Like all of those things, you start to go, people overcommit, and if they overcommit, it's not our problem, it's their problem.
Yeah, that's Bible West style. That's if they overcommit, that's on their budget, not ours. I think we've got to deal with this, as you said, Costa. If people start asking for it, I think I've had a couple of people ask me for it over time. Have you got this? Have you got some form of payment plan? No. You need to work that out yourself. I'm not getting involved in finance. We're here to fix cars, like your dad used to say, Pete.
Yeah.
We're here to fix cars and get your car back on the road. You need to work out how you're going to pay for it. We're not here as a financial institution, and we're not here to try to, as a financial advisor, to advise you that a system like Afterpay or a small loan,
where's you've got to draw a line,
idea, or a loan where you miss a payment and your interest rate goes to 48%.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing too.
Because you don't want it so your customers can't afford to come back and see you for the service at the same time, because they're getting raped by interest rates.
It's like sometimes people need to realise that they may need to walk.
Yeah.
Right. If you can't, I mean, maybe we're doing them a favour by not offering a service like that. I understand where some people are coming from, going, but I don't think you could say you're attracting the wrong sort of customer. The thing that I think is it's a culture thing. It's a thing that these guys and especially girls are getting used to going. It's almost like that. It's like a lay-by without having to, people go, what's lay-by? It's like, you pay something off, but you don't get the item until you finish paying it off. This is the other way around.
You get it already. You get your car and then you pay it off.
It's this instant gratification thing that we've got at the moment. We go into Louis Vuitton and you get your $3,000 handbag, but you don't want a $24 air filter in your car. It's this culture stuff that these kids are going to use that and get used to using that, and they're used to having swings and roundabouts and overcommitting and that's the life that that's the way they manage their finances.
You sound like an old man, buddy.
I know.
These kids these days,
back in my day.
Well,
I am an old man. I'm just coming to terms with that, so that's okay. So
there are grown men though. There are grown men that do that. Like, I mean, we'll happily borrow money for an expensive car. As grown men as well, and so it's not just these young kids.
No, I don't mean it like that. But what I actually mean is that they manage their finances with things like Afterpay the way we probably do with the credit card,
with the budget.
Yeah. And if you don't offer moving forward, if we don't offer, and this is about being fluid and flexible in your business model. And your plan, that if you go, never going to offer that stuff. We're not into that. We're never going to look into those sorts of things. And we're not interested in it because it's just shit people, then you can lock yourself out of a whole group of people.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like a simple decision like that can become a very bad business decision in an area where you may have 20 to 30-year-olds who choose to not have a credit card but have Afterpay. Yeah. And that's going to be their method of, and it's a trend. And if it stays as a trend and it stays as part of their money management plan, then yes, we may have to deal with 10% commissions because these guys want to use the system like Afterpay. And they, that's a massive percentage.
That's pretty big. I didn't realize it was that high, to be honest.
I knew it was. It's the same with that was in my memory. It was a few years ago that we had the agreement with OpenPay, and it was free. It was no, I mean, it was free. You didn't have to sign up, and there was no contract. When a customer was there and wanted to use it, you'd ring up and sign them up. But I was like,
it might be worth our while, Mike, to look into the VACC, what they've got offering. If you can, that might be worth our while.
I might do a recorded Zoom, guys, and I'll come up. We'll have a chat to the guys and see what the fees are, what it's like, and how we
can some benefits and whatnot.
How you can manage it and what the options are, and for our members. You know, I have had a preliminary discussion about this. It was off the back of that comment earlier this week, but we haven't finalised everything, and I didn't want to go too in depth with it, but obviously we have anyway.
But you might be right, Mike. Like, I mean, you have to evolve your business model, don't you? It's like, you know, when EFI came out and you had the old school guys like, oh, you know, screw EFI. That's, you know,
that bloody Lambada.
Yeah, Lambada sensor.
That bloody Lambada ruined the job.
And now we're faced with the other, you know, evolution now of the trade being, and we have to adapt business model to suit now is EV. You know, you might have, you know, bugger those electric vehicles.
It'll never take off, Pete.
It'll never take off.
Don't worry about the EV.
Never take. But I think you're very right, Mike. I think you know, we can't dismiss anything in business. You've got to sort of look at it and see how you need to evolve and adapt. You know.
Like Jeff said with boxing, he's got to roll with the punches and just take it on the chin and just
see
what...
Jeff's got boxing arms, you reckon?
He's got boxing arms.
I've got boxing arms. I'm going to see Rafish. I'm going to show him my boxing arms.
He's got to go with the flow, and it just is what it is to, you know, you just got to work it out. You know, yes. Not all the decisions you make are the right decisions. I can, you know, like I'll talk, and I'll segue into this is where you know, like some decisions you make in business can be, in life can make things harder for you, and some things will make it easier.
Yeah. So
dealing with that mental health and hard stuff with hardship is, you know, that's our next topic.
Absolutely. So all in all, we're all in agreement that we need to adapt, evolve. Is it a platform are these platforms that we would use? Possibly.
Pick what's right for your business, I guess.
You know, just pick what's right for your business. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean you're getting bottom feeder clients. You just need to do what's right
thing to take from it. If a customer's asking for it, don't just immediately think that the, you know, arseholes or, you know, we don't know their situation. They just might want to spread things out. We've got kids who've just had 2 years of COVID.
Yeah,
you know, there's been weird times. So
absolutely agree.
Absolutely,
don't be mean to them.
It can be quite hard on anyone, can't it? COVID and all the way through. So, sort of segueing into our next topic then of what was our next topic, Costa? It was
it was about being overwhelmed or burnout, or, you know, how we deal with, you know, avoiding or even, you know, that overwhelming feeling. Because I think it came a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like coming to Christmas now, there's a bit of a rush going on. I don't know about you guys, but I think everyone's sort of feeling like there is not enough hours in the day, not enough days in the weeks, not enough weeks in the month. It's happening very quick.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to a few guys over the last few weeks, and the word overwhelms keeps coming up.
Yeah, I spoke to you about it, Costa, recently.
Yeah.
Just a feeling of being overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that we're committed to with my recent AAA board membership. Some of the stuff that I've got to go to Melbourne. I've got committee meetings. I've got something on every night this week, and every day I'm in some other Zoom meeting or and other commitments. And they're things you don't want to let people down. You know, you want to. And then I've got to come back, and I'm trying to run a business, and I'm trying to make sure everyone's happy, and we're getting through the work. And then that feeling that all of us probably get at about 9 or 10 o'clock, when all the cars get lumped and they're all parked over your site, and you go, oh my God, how many cars did we book in today? Are we going to get through this? And then, you know, the reality is you just got to relax, deal with it, manage customers' expectations. I think someone said it today. I think, Pete, you responded to them about, you know, someone's dropped the car off. Yeah, we'll fit you in. When's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready?
Yeah.
Be very, very clear with people. Like, look, we'll get to it, but you've just got to You know, bear with us. We're getting through a backlog. Everyone wants their cars fixed. We're fully booked. We'll fit it in for you. We're gonna make it happen, but you just have to if they keep doing that, you just gotta be very calm and relax. We are going to get your car done. But
well, you can actually go backwards. I think so. Jeff Smith's on here, isn't he? He actually did a bit of a live video where he sort of said, you can actually go backwards, where you're booking in so much work trying to please everybody that you're actually going backwards, and you're just in damage control, then just trying to get these jobs out the door, where you're not committing time or energy to that particular customer or to that car. And your average sale can actually potentially drop, because you're just trying to push out these jobs, you're not productive. You're just pushing out these jobs.
You're a busy dickhead.
You're a busy dickhead. That's
don't
exactly
be a
what
busy
you are.
dickhead.
That's exactly right. So, but I look, and how do we deal with that overwhelm? Is there anything that we're doing in particular dealing with the overwhelm?
Just say no. Just say no. No. We'll have to do it in 2 weeks. Just say no.
You can't always do that.
Look,
I'm overbooked already.
Yeah, look, I can tell you how I deal with I used to be always overwhelmed all the time. Now, about a year ago, I learned a few little tricks that I feel like I've got so much time now, except for today. Jeff helped me out today, but I'll get to that as well in a moment. But I've learned a really good tactic of obviously booking everything in like we normally do. But I've actually started booking my non-work stuff as well, whether that's going to be, garage network stuff. They're booked in all the time on my calendar. I even have, time when I want to walk the dog. I actually book that now on my calendar. It's set. It's a time frame. It is done. Time when I'm going to go to the gym, it is actually booked in.
Yep.
I even book in free time. Correct. I book in free time. How is that, right? You book in time to be free. And I stick to it.
Costa, what happened to lunch today? You didn't book that in, did you?
Say again?
You didn't book lunch in today, did you?
I'll tell you what, today, and I will talk about that because as it was happening, I thought.
But some days just go to shit, right?
Today went to shit.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush. Today went to shit. Like I'll be honest, Jeff and I were working together on the car, and I thought the plan was by midday we were out of there. We're going to have lunch.
We had grand plans today, didn't we? And,
by midday,
it didn't happen.
We'll be done. We'll be driving on the way to the beach to have some lunch by the beach, right? That was the plan. We didn't get there till 7 o'clock.
What you're saying there, Costa, I was going to say, I compartmentalize. So you just basically just allocate everything. Like you just got to focus on what you're doing and fix that, and then move on to the next one, and move on to the next one, and have a plan, and just leave them all. They're all separate jobs, but you're going to go. And once you see it, okay, that's it. It's actually not as much as it is. It looks really big when you look at it side on, but you turn it on a different angle, and it's better.
And even writing things down into a proper calendar. Like, when we book things, like I share now my work calendar with my personal calendar, and I can see where I'm booked out where. I even book out days, a full day for something that I might have only a few hours of work to do because I then have 12 to 4 my free time, I find that has taken a lot of that stress and anxiety away from that overwhelming feeling.
Yeah.
But I will say today, Jeff actually snapped me out of an overwhelming moment. I was quite overwhelmed with his car. I'm normally quite, like Jeff as well, quite relaxed. We'll get through it. You tick through your boxes and you get through it, but it just wasn't doing what we were expecting it to do. And I'm not going to say I had a hissy fit, but I had enough at that point. And I think Jeff's word would lock the car. Let's go for a bit of a walk. I was like, we've got to get it. No. Let's go for a walk. It's not going to do what you want it to do right now. And
that's your dad talking, Jeff, isn't
it? So I've learned a bit. So I recently did a scuba diving course, slightly off topic, but when I'm underwater, which I naturally shouldn't be because I'm a land beast, and I wanted to freak out, you've just got to breathe. Not worried about it. We're still alive. All's good, and don't let it. It's a car. It's nuts and bolts. Don't let it stress you out. Now, I'm saying that I've thrown thousands of dollars worth of gas analyzers across my workshop. I have lost my shit. But I've also learned as well. Like I've smashed loads of stuff, laptops, scan tools. Yeah, fucking think, it happens. And look, we've all chucked something, haven't we? But as I've got a bit older, I've got a bit wiser, and you've just got to step back and think, well, look, it's just a car. It's only nuts and bolts.
Yep.
I mean, saying that, the car kind of broke down, and we were going to be walking home. But I'm not going to go. We're not going to go into.
I don't want to talk about it. I've already.
The car wouldn't start. And,
but you know what we did, Jeff?
And Costa was about to punch through it.
Yeah. I was going to push it home and just leave it there. But
you were going to lose it.
Yeah. But I didn't.
Just got to relax. Relax. Don't get hot-headed.
I think it's really important for people to know that we all have those moments, and you all have that. And it's not like I can see my staff sometimes have those moments. So like, just walk away, go, break, get away, walk away, come back to it. You'll be better in a minute. And when you're young and you think, I'm invincible. Nothing's going to break me. Cars can break you.
Oh yeah,
that's all I to do, mate.
I was that close to being broken today. But look, on a positive note, the car is fixed. Car is driving. Car is excellent.
Supposed to take it out.
Sorry, no, we have confirmed repair. I'm very comfortable with what we're seeing.
No, I said it was supposed to take an hour, and it ended up taking 6.5.
The plan was, I think I got there a bit early, but the plan was to start at 9, finish by 12. Left there at 7 p.m.
Sometimes it's just not vibing, it just doesn't happen that way.
Didn't enjoy. How about you guys? What sort of strategies do you guys use to sort of, let's say, try to stop?
Hang on a minute. I reckon Mike's a spanner thrower. I reckon some spanners
100%.
Planes, he's an Italian spanner
100%.
No, I haven't. I've never thrown a spanner. I'm pretty cool, calm and collected most of the time.
I don't know, Mike. I've seen you in some curly moments when I'm like, I think I'm going to go.
You have seen me stressed, but I don't. That's about as bad as. I mean, there's a couple of times where I've probably lost my shit, but.
Sorry, is Kyle? Kyle, is if you're watching, can you comment, please?
Please
verify. You will not get sacked. You will not get sacked, guaranteed.
No, I've never thrown a spanner, not punched a wall. No, I'm not that sort of. I've been lucky enough that I had a pretty good mentor in my dad that was always we'll just go for it like you guys did. Just go for a walk away. Just walk away, and he'll do it, or walk away and. There were things he used to see me do in the early days doing drum brakes. I'm trying to get a freaking spring on and it's flying because who invented these stupid things?
The same person that invented carburetors.
That's exactly right. Bloody Venturis,
No, look, I try not to. I have learned. I have to admit, recently I have felt really overwhelmed, like just so busy and so much. There's been times I've done it at work, and Lee's been really good at going, rather than looking at the day as our run sheet, which is like, holy shit, there's lots of cars booked in today. Start looking at it in a day and then allocate the jobs to all the boys, and you go, it's not too bad. You've only got 4 jobs each, or you know what I mean? We've all, and it starts to, you look at the like, because I've got to the point going, oh my God, no, the phone rings, don't book anything else in. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, freaking hell, how are we going to get through this? It's like if anyone rings, no, the answer is no. And I have done that, and I've done that a few times. And then you wouldn't believe it, that day, and I look like an idiot to the boys because that day, by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock,
that's a day you finish early. Yeah,
smashed all the work out, like every car that's come in, it's like it's everything's the day's just gone really smooth, and and I'm like, oh God, don't look like a dickhead. We could have taken 4 other jobs. And it's like, well, and but no, I'm not a spanner thrower. I try to, I do bottle stuff.
I'm just gonna message your wife and just double check that. Because I don't know.
Why have you got Mike's wife's number?
Everyone's got Mike's wife's number.
Everyone's got my wife's number.
I know.
I'm just going to mute myself while you guys work that out.
Yeah, what's going on?
So I'll tell you what I do. I've got a bit of a 5-second rule. So I try to, exactly the same as you, Mike, I try to sort of chunk down my tasks into, so I use a combination of different things. I definitely have a diary, and I definitely book out space for various tasks so I can work out where I am during the course of the day. Now, I break down my jobs, but I think, and I say this to the guys that we coach as well, if you look at things holistically, you can get very, very overwhelmed very quickly. So you might have a quick glance at it, but then what I do is I chunk things down. I say, okay, cool. I'm going to chunk them down into a few sections, and then I'm going to work out what my important tasks are over my urgent tasks. So my important tasks are things that are going to be benefit longer term. The urgent tasks are, those things where you're just chasing your tail all day and you're just putting out fires, and they're not the tasks that I want to concentrate on, and I do them last, and I'll work out the important stuff that I need to do. So that's how I sort of deal with overwhelm. If I've got heaps of shit on the go, if I've got 4 job cards on my desk and I've got I sort of take a deep breath, count to 5, and I go, okay, cool. Now I'll work out my priority on my jobs, and then I deal with the overwhelm that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Again, it's that breaking it down to smaller tasks. Like breaking it down into smaller segments.
Tenable segments.
Yeah.
And reassessing it.
Sorry, Robert Laturvi's just put, maybe you should offer yoga classes instead of Afterpay.
A bit of a Zen session, yeah.
Zen
yeah, maybe. We've touched on this before, but I think health and fitness is definitely something that's at my forefront, and I've dealt with a lot of overwhelm by either going for a run or going to the gym, or and I've got a set regime, like I've got a set routine that I have, and I notice that if I break that routine, I get overwhelmed quite quick. But if I've got my routine, I'm quite happy and structured. So that could be something.
Maybe
you should start running, Mike.
That routine is you in your natural habitat.
That's don't you go there. I could go there.
I could see Mike running around Drummoyne there, like you'd be like Forrest Gump.
Riding his bike around.
Mike's
been riding his bike around. I've seen the photos.
The electric bike.
Will and I have been riding BMXs around the back.
I think there was more photos than riding. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at me on my bike.
We've been riding the Summer Hill, and we've been riding around the bay. It's lovely. I really enjoy it. But the problem is what I tend to find is that was great. I enjoyed lockdown. I enjoyed that part of lockdown, that quietness, that. I didn't enjoy the stress of not earning any money, but it was. But I enjoyed that time with the kids and being able to have that time for yourself. And then it just seems, I personally feel massively overwhelmed coming out of the other side of lockdown. There's this massive catch-up drive that's going on at the moment, where there's, like I was out to dinner last night. I've had Zoom meetings. We've got. Zoom meeting tomorrow night. We've got another. We're out on Friday night, and I've got Saturday night, and it just seems like holy cow, and we're 3 weeks away from Christmas. Like it's 3.5 weeks away from Christmas, and it's like you can and the realization that people haven't realized that yet, customers haven't realized that yet. I can see that in their booking, and it's like, I'm wishing people Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, well, have a good Christmas. See you next year.
But you can only do so much though as well. So there will be a point where you just physically can't book any more work in.
Yeah.
You can't deal with the customers any better than you're dealing with them. You're just doing the best that you can, and I think you just need to sort of accept the fact that quite possibly might need to say no, or you can't overload yourself. You get overwhelmed and burnout. And I think one of the biggest things that we realize too, it's not just burnout from being a business owner. You can also burn out from being an employee too. Running the burning the candle at both ends and working super, super, super hard, and maybe not being organized or structured with your workflow and things like that. So it's important that we understand that.
I recognize that with my staff, and we decided yesterday we're going to close for 3 weeks.
Do it, man.
None of us None of us have had a holiday. No one's had a break. I mean, if they want to take a holiday later on next year, they're more than welcome to. I'm not going to, we're just going to close for 3 weeks. We'll close till the 16th of January and guys, enjoy it. Have a bit of time off and do nothing. Don't have to think about this place and we'll work it out. The customers will be there. They'll wait. It is what it is.
On a more enjoyable note, are we planning all to go away for Christmas? Probably not so much a topic, but since you're on,
yeah, well, I'm going away on the boat. We'll go up to Hawkesbury and spend 3 weeks on the boat up in Hawkesbury, and I've been getting that ready. Jeff's going to get his hands dirty on Saturday too. He's coming to help me service the boat.
No, I should have just said no. I should have just said no. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm going to get castrated tonight.
Speaking of Rob Latier, I'll pay you. We'll pay you in beer. But that's I'll take you out.
Mike, you couldn't afford to pay me in beer.
Don't be silly. What's that? 2 to 3 beers max, and he's out anyways.
That's it.
More beer.
So what else have we got on the go? So we've gone through our couple of topics. There was you did mention the VACC, and I think maybe we can speak to them at some point about the that sort of open pay.
And don't forget about our new partners as well, which I think,
yes,
if anyone wants any more information, Jeff, are they okay to reach out to you?
Yeah, reach out to me. We will share a few things on the page as well, but it's in no means is anything going to be spammy or with anything that we do on the Garage Network and even with the VACC, they're absolutely great guys to deal with. And, Tune Up Australia, they're a great fit for what we're doing moving forward. So I'm really quite excited. Yeah.
I'm going to give us another plug for anyone that's thinking about going to the AAA trade show down in Melbourne in April next year. We will have events on every night, and this is the reason we are getting partners and sponsors. We are going to be giving that back in beer and food or all of the above.
Good time.
It's funny you say that, Mike,
or natural habitat,
Yeah,
I'm going to admit, I did hear that Tune Up Australia were going to buy a round of drinks. That's
Excellent.
all. I don't know who said it, but that's what I heard.
I think the Germans are going to buy us rounds of drinks.
I think the Germans,
They are watching. They are watching.
You are watching.
In saying all of that, it's just a really big reminder, guys. Unfortunately, and I'm going to say unfortunately, the Formula One is on in Melbourne on the weekend. And that's going to make it really difficult for people to get accommodation. It's going to make Melbourne very, very busy. So we are working on locations and venues to host these events, which we'll let you know closer to the day. Anyone that's in Melbourne,
Mike, you could always have a bunk up.
What now?
What?
A bunk up. You could always share a bed. Help a fella out.
Bum cup,
mate. I don't know what you guys do over there in the UK. I don't know what you guys do.
Why do you have Mike's wife's phone number as well? And then you've got all this stuff going on.
Well, I think Mike's wife. So Mike's wife is actually called Lee. I think she's everybody's business manager. Certainly quite a few workshop business managers. So it's not for anything blue. It's purely for her marketing expertise.
You actually got out of that hole, okay? I don't know how you're going to get out of it.
I'm actually impressed, Jeff. You're very good at digging out your way out of holes. So it's okay. So that's all
there you go.
So somebody has just Robert Latour, who is Tune Up Australia, has just put. So obviously we can say it. Toyota, PSA, Mercedes all use Tune Up.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
on a dealer level.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Fantastic.
That's good.
Sorry, Gary O'Riane, what sort of conversation have I joined in on, Jeff? Well, you should have watched from the start. You've missed out. Gary.
All I have to say, Gary, is make sure you keep your wife away. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Despicable.
Going back to that, we're going to have some social events down in Melbourne at the AAA trade show. It's going to be a great weekend. Anyone that's in Melbourne's more than welcome to attend. Everyone's going to have to RSVP to come. Anyone that's attending from interstate, you guys in Western Australia, you probably have broken away and dug the trench, so you may need a visa to get into the country. I don't know whether you're going to be able to make
I don't know
it.
if that's actually opened up yet. We don't know.
So-
Yeah.
You don't have to be a member of a AA to go though, do you?
No.
No, but
No, you have to register, and you can.
But you've got to register,
on the day of
yeah.
the show, there's no problem. Look, there are a lot of benefits. We
come on, Mike, spit it out. Go for
Yeah,
it.
come on.
No, look, it's something that's being a member of an association. There's lots of associations. There's the Motor Traders Association, there's the IAME, there's the AAAA, there's the VACC, there's MTAQ, there's ASDEN, there's loads and loads of different groups, associations, and I think something that I wanted to talk about tonight, which we're going to leave till next time, was the benefits of being part of an association. I mean, why join? Why pay $400 a year to be a part of the AAAA? Why pay $500 a year to be the MTA in New South Wales, or the MTAQ or VACC, or whatever these other associations may be in your state? Some of those associations, for everyone that don't know, and the people that don't know, some associations are state-based associations. So the Motor Traders Association of New South Wales, the Motor Traders Association of Queensland, MTA WA. There's another one in South Australia, and VACC. VACC is Victoria. It's like their version of the Motor Traders Association, which is the Victorian Automotive Chamber of Commerce, which have a commercial arm who is our partner, which is Motortech.
Yep.
Our Auto and Motortech, which is associated with they're together. And then you have something like the AAAA, the Australian Automotive Aftermarket Association. Why be a member? Why be involved? Why have any? What does it bring? What's the point? It was some things I read someone saying, well, why be a part of it? Well, if you're not part of it, you can't help be part of. You can't be part of a plan or a part of it. You're not involved. You have no involvement. So you can't sit there from a sideline and say our industry is screwed up because everything's buggered, and I'm not part of, and you're not part of an industry association, and you're not giving any input. Then you really, how can you?
It's like not having a voice, but still moaning about the outcomes of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're pretty spot on.
So what do these things bring? I mean, the
Oh,
automotive.
hang on a minute. Sorry, Peter Arnold. He says it's been left off the map again. Whereabouts are you, Peter Arnold? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you're right though.
I want to say Tassie. I think he's in Tassie.
Is he in Tassie?
I believe.
So, look, all of these
Could be wrong.
associations. I mean, the Australian Automotive Aftermarket Association has been key in getting us the right to repair legislation. They've gone out there and they've fought on your behalf, whether you're a member or you're not a member, and they got us access to the right to repair legislation. They've been for 15 years. They've fought for this, and if you're not a member, you're gonna reap the benefits anyway, right? So
Look, I think just on that, Mike, and I will bring this up because I think we do bring it up a fair bit with the AAA, all right? And I think the reason why we do is I know for myself, that's secured my future in this trade. Like, let's be realistic here, right? That access to that information, especially as we're going to a electric driven vehicle and all this sort of stuff where you can die now. Like if you touch the wrong wire, you can fry. I think Scott Daly said it. What did he say? What was the word? Help me out, Travis. What's the saying? Like there's something in your fry. I'm sure Travis remembers it.
There's two sayings. Don't be a busy dickhead. That's one saying. And you can't unjerk a jerk. That's another one.
No, there was one specifically about EV, which I'm sure.
I remember a lot of things Scott Daly says, but it's not that.
One flash and you're ash.
One flash.
One flash and you're ash.
Yeah.
Right. So which I was going to say stuck in my head, but obviously not so much. So with all this information that we have to have to not die, right? It's definitely made me more comfortable with going ahead and sort of spending a bit more money and really making sure that I'm in here for a bit longer now.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it. There is no exit.
You're dead right. It has secured the future of all of our industry in this country, and it's meant that means that we have an equal level and equal playing field with dealers and manufacturers, 100%. You know, what other things do you get out of that? You get all of that information that we shared with you guys. And admittedly, like, I mean, we're probably sharing it and you guys might see it, but why during COVID, we had answers out of the AAA about what to do, where our lockdown, what were our rules, what were our responsibilities.
That's what we're sharing. That's what we're using their network, yeah.
All of their information and shared it on the Garage Network. Some of the other associations were very slow at getting that out, but they did eventually. And it was, you know, from state-based stuff. And like, I'm a member of the MTA. We use the MTA for on-site training. We use it for our merchant agreement. We use it for our state-based regulation stuff, evacuation plans, business plans, or business and some of our OH&S stuff that you legally need to have. They provide all of that sort of stuff as a value add, and some of that stuff is you've got to pay for additionally on top of your membership, but some of it you get for free. So you get even with the AAA, you get free legal advice. MTA, you get free legal advice. VACC, you'll get free legal advice as being part of that association. So there are a lot of different things that these groups give back the value add to their membership. But more importantly, you become a number that's counted, right? And your voice is heard. And then you also have the ability to join a committee and you know, I'm going to listen to anyone, even if you're not a AAA member, and represent you as I'm on that board, right? And I'm going to take your concerns and your problems to that board as a Garage Network member, because I'm on the Garage Network and I'm the founder of the Garage Network with you guys, and I'll listen to any complaints or anything that everyone's dealing with and take that to the board, and we'll go into battle on your behalf. But obviously, if you're a member of something, you can get involved and you can give back and you can help shape and change our industry, right? And that's we're all here to work together. We don't want to work against each other. And all of these associations need to get over a bit of a hurdle and start to work together, because I believe that a lot of them do not like to work together. And I truly believe that our industry is grown up enough now in 2021, 2022, that industry associations, state-based or federal-based or whatever you want to be, need to start working together for a common goal for all of us nationally as an industry.
I'll vote for Mike. Go Mike.
Yeah, vote Mike.
Vote for Mike.
Vote Mike.
Go Mike. I love it. So
make our industry better.
I think, can we make like a trumpet jingle for him when he talks? You know.
Yeah, maybe you can play.
Hang on a minute. Mike's talking. A little fanfare.
I'll get enough shit from my staff. They call me the Honourable Mike Carnamoli.
The Honourable. I love it.
I love it. I'm changing your name on my phone right now.
The Honourable.
I'm also going to put it out there to a couple of the guys that I'm in contact with from Victoria. If they are at the AAA next year, hit me up for beers because I'm keen. So Lee Killen, Brant Cutter, Phil from Spanners and Sparks. If you guys are there, hit me up. I'll be there. So there's just and it's good because I've never met any of these guys. It's just all over the phone. So it'd be keen.
You don't have to hit you up. You just got to come and attend the event. Come
attend the event. And
I think, Mike, I think this is something this is some of that stuff that where Pete disappears on his own and comes back with a smile. What
are you talking about?
I don't know
what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Do you realise, Pete, that we're all going and we're having an event?
So this has gone completely downhill now. Yeah. Call me. Call me.
So, what do you say we end on a high?
On that note,
yeah, we're going to end on hit me up.
Hit me up.
So, I would like to just thank the ACC and Tune Up Australia for
Absolutely.
joining us and on our little journey.
Yeah,
And
without their finances, there was nothing happening in Melbourne. I'm sorry, guys, we couldn't afford to do it.
Michael's going to shell it out of his own pocket.
Yeah.
I was.
The boat was going to get smaller.
We were going to use Afterpay and pay him back.
I was just going to ask Phil Forson if he could lend me some money and just never pay him back.
He's got
plenty of money.
I'll be
Phil's
fine.
got heaps. Phil's loaded.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I wonder how big Phil's boat is. I bet it's massive.
It's not the size of the boat that matters. Remember.
That's what people with small boats say.
Hit me up in Melbourne. Sorry, you can't live that one down.
I can't. No. We
Melbourne, I think.
we wrap up, boys.
Let's wrap it up before this gets
Good
naughtier.
session, guys. I hope everyone got anything out of it. Are there any questions from anyone that's
Any dying questions? Just a
viewing
few
or-
hellos.
Gary over here, just wanted to shout out to Peter from the MTA. He's helped him out over the last few weeks. So if someone helps Gary out, they're a friend of ours anyway.
absolutely.
So,
It's a great.
thank you, Peter.
Being part of an association, they'll help you and they'll do things. So that's really,
And Peter Arnold, we're not forgetting Tassie, mate. We just forgot to mention it that
Costa,
time round.
do you remember we nearly went to Tassie once?
Absolutely.
And we didn't. But we're really close. So maybe we should go and have a road trip.
really close.
You know what?
No,
Jeff,
honestly,
hit me
mate,
up
me
and
and
we
Costa
can go for a
nearly
drive
went. We
together to
nearly
Tassie.
went.
I think we need to-
I'll call you.
Digging a hole, just digging away.
Going downhill very quick.
It is,
know.
okay. Let's wrap it up before it gets too nasty.
All right, guys. Well, good seeing you all again. And are we going to do another one pre?
Yeah, we'll do one
Christmas,
just
or
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we
Yeah.
will. I think that's a plan. That's a plan.
Wednesday night before Christmas. So we'll see everyone before Chrissy. Don't get too stressed. Don't get too overwhelmed. Everyone. Just
Absolutely.
stay on top of it.
And you know what? My phone's always on too, guys. So if anyone feels a little bit of overwhelm and they want to sort of reach out, phones on, messengers on, hit me up.
I'll ring you in 10 minutes.
Call me.
Call me. Anyway, actually, no. On a real down to earth, serious mental health note, anyone, anytime needs to reach out to any of us.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's really sincerely. I can't stress that enough. I know, we reach out to each other. I rang Costa the other day because I just was like, oh my God, what have I done? I've got so much stuff going on. I don't even know how to do this. And he's like, yeah, just get it in your diary. And I went, okay, no worries. I wrote it all down and went through it all, put it all in a calendar and felt better straight away. And we have each other to do that. And we are all here for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone
Good
that's
work, guys.
listening, and anyone that's there, anytime, just give us a ring. Workshop phone, mobile phone, messenger, whatever.
Reach out.
I can't stress it enough. We're all here for each other.
Look, knowing that I can speak to a fair few guys now, I'll tell you now, it makes my overwhelmed days much better.
Yeah.
Right. And I've probably been guilty of not reaching out when probably should have. I'm well past that hurdle now. If I feel a little bit not right, the phone call's happening. So I think that's a very strong message.
Yeah, and don't be ashamed, don't be afraid. Just reach out and have a chat. We've all been there, and we're all in the same trade, and we're all doing the same jobs, and we're all very similar.
Absolutely.
People ain't that different. We're not that different from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I totally agree with that. But good night, guys, and we will chat soon.
See you guys.
All right, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
See you soon. Thank you.
Into your DMs. That's what we're doing.
Don't forget to join our private Facebook page if you are an automotive technician, and also subscribe to our YouTube and our podcast channel. They are all called The Garage Network. Thanks, guys, and see you next time.